Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's showtime. Hi guys. I'm back. Again. More LotRO. There's your intro. So, as I say in the title, I am going to be doing as much skipping of the side quests as possible. I'll do any that are obviously quick and easy and adjacent. But the amount of running around I've done on side quests over the last 3 nights has gotten tedious. Really tedious. I have a free silver quality gift and combat run speed. Alright, I now have run speed for like 10 seconds. Super fast is what I am. Yeah. Interesting, they have the VIP rewards here for presumably the threats.
Could I speak with you a moment?
Talk to Wanda Cranesbill, War of the Three Peaks map table.
Hello there.
Okay, I've got a housing item.
Would you do something for me?
Subscriber town services. Oh, I had forgotten about these.
What can I do for you?
Accelerates crafting time for that and allows you to perform town services while adventuring for 2 weeks. Oh, I had forgotten about these. Nice little Buffy bits. Use that. And that pops up town services. I can use those from anywhere. That's delightful. I had forgotten all about that. Alright, we don't want to talk to them about that. We don't want to talk to them about that. So I have to either defeat enemies in Lamadon Blackroot Vale or travel through Calambel, Lothgabel, and Dinadab. To the Blackroot Vale, presumably. Sardol, Morlad, Landcraft. Ah, over there. I see. So we start in Calambel. Can I travel straight to Calambel? That would be nice.
You are most welcome, my friend.
I can. Excellent. Then I will. 144 silver. Evidently the expense is based on your level. It was 129 silver yesterday, but I leveled up at the end of the day. And now it's more expensive. Inflation. Thanks, Obama. Well, it shows the ring being over here, so we'll ride through this. Calambel seems to have achieved a measure of peace after the war. Well, that's nice for them. They had a really rough time. I don't think I can get out of town going this way. Oh, maybe I can. Not that way. Good evening to whomever has joined me. East side. I hope your Monday hasn't sucked too much. I'll try not to make it any worse. No promises, but I'll try. For those of you watching on the YouTubes, on demand, I hope your whichever day you are currently existing in has been nice. And I will make no promises not to make it worse. There we go. I think I covered all my bases. Next up is... I can't remember. One of the two. It's either Lothgabel or Dinadab. Yee! Fireworks! Pardon me. I have discovered Lothgabel.
When my townsfolk and I returned to Lothgabel, the place was lousy.
He wanted me to feed his cat, amongst other things. So, more side quests. As I've mentioned, I'm going to be skipping those. I didn't need. I already had the stable
Welcome to
master there.
King's
I
Gondor, friend.
grabbed the stable master here. Lothgabel has not yet fully recovered from its scars, and yet they're dancing. I mean, they can dance if they want to. That leads Dinadab. Technically, I guess. We got Corsairs lounging about in the landscape, driving down the property values. The Watchmen, however, are level 150. Once again, we will grab the folk of Dinadab seek to restore their peaceful lives. We'll grab the stable master.
The long night
Travel
is
to the
ended,
base
the sun rises
of
upon
the
a
hill of
peaceful
Erech in the
kingdom.
Blackroot Vale. I don't fault them for reusing landscape, given the relatively small team they now have working on the game. But throwing a couple of quests into each location does feel a tiny bit perfunctory. Well, we got to do something. All right, we'll have feed this guy's cats. I mean, when we previously came through the Blackroot Vale, I think we were level 90s? I think. The Blackroot Vale, our entrance into it following the storyline, was through the Paths of the Dead. And that's all the way up there, very top of the map. I will grab the stable point there before we head over to Erech and the stone. New deed, Explorer of the Blackroot Vale renewed.
Gondor has a king again.
Yes, yes it does. It's a friend of mine. Cool dude. You'll love him. It certainly seems like, not only have all of the mobs leveled up, And presumably we've leveled up, as we have. The harvesting nodes have leveled up too. Again, I understand why. But this is like the only example I can think of where level scaling might have been a good idea. Generally, I'm not a fan of level scaling, and certainly not in retrofitting it into an already existing game. I know I'm in the minority opinion, but I feel that ESO was better before they level scaled, and WoW much better before they level scaled.
The Hill of Erech. We have seen it before, but
I have new
in
pants.
different circumstance.
About 3 times as much armor, more than twice as much will, more than twice as much vit, tactical mastery and evade instead of crit and outgoing healing. Certainly don't need the outgoing healing, as the only person I ever heal is me. I have
I do not wish to climb this hill again. The memory is grim.
Many were the shades of the dead men that followed in our train when we departed Erech. The shades who gathered about King Elisar atop the hill redeemed their oath and recovered their honor. Should that make it pleasing to recall for we who were there? Talk to K-Bar at the base of the hill. Hi, K-Bar.
This story that Legolas and Gimli speak about, it fills me with fright.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. You say that some of the shades did not fight on behalf of the king? How ruthless must those dead men now be, knowing there is to be no redemption for them? They'll not be redeemed for valuable prizes. I do not want to go up there. King Elisar would understand if we did not. Shirley? Don't call me Shirley.
I am not afraid, you understand. But there is little reason for us to climb again.
The king would expect us to slay any such members of the ruthless dead that we encountered. What do I know? If any of the ruthless dead think to trouble the folk who live nearby, they're sure to haunt the Hill of Erech at night. But they'll be along the road to the Pass of the Dead at all times, I wager. Inconvenience ruthless dead in the Blackroot Vale. Inconvenience them. Why is there a ring over there? A ruthless berserker. Well, he should count. Yeah, that's one. A ruthless hunter. I don't have to worry about him. He'll just auto-attack. That was a joke at the expense of my hunter friends. Note, true, but still a joke at the expense of my hunter friends. Oh, that's a mountain lion. I'm not interested in fighting a mountain lion or a Veil Heart. I'm here to re-deadify the dead. Well, there aren't any others that are conveniently located for my convenience. I need 3 more, 4 more. Oh, there we go. That was a nice little lag spike. Another one. Another one. Wow. There's like a 2 or 3 second hang time on every skill that I'm doing? Oh, LotRO, LotRO, LotRO. That's better. 6 out of 8. Yep, these should be the last 2 I need to do. Another ruthless warrior. Poor guy, he has no roots. We'll give it a sec for our cooldowns, just to make it quick and fast. On him. Like that. That's 8 out of 8. Talk to Rosfin. I remember that name. And Morlad. More is Elvish for black. Fond. Morlad. Can't remember off the top of my head. Might be Valley? Is it a combo word with more? Because Imlad is a Vale, so it might be the Black Valley. I have discovered Morlad. And first thing we do, of course, we grab the Stable Master.
I
so
never thought to see such happy days as these.
Again, more side quests here that I really, I would rather do, but most of the side quests have just had me running back and forth, and it's just tedious. He's up there. And Mullen. Lord Dween here's home. Roston.
A pall lies upon
Talk
the
to
Black
Dween here
Root
and
Vale,
Morlad in King's
for
Gondor.
all her young men.
Paul lies upon the
drawn
Blackroot
away
Vale.
Eastward to war.
My sons were caught in the whirlpool, Dwelin and Darufin. Will not come home. My husband, Dween here, thinks to spare me the details of what befell my boys. I will not ask of you. I know Dween here thinks to spare my feelings. Life can be cruel, but it's crueler still for a mother in the time of war. Well, I can't say she's wrong, Dween here.
I have told Rosfin over and over again that there was nothing I could do to save our sons.
He lowers his voice. Sometimes when I lie awake in the silent watches of the night, I wonder if it's the truth. I speak to my wife. I raised Dwelin and Darufin to be bold and be valiant, and they made me proud every day of their lives. But if I'd raised them to be less bold, to be less valiant, would my boys be alive today if I had not raised them to hold dear the same things as I? No, stop, enough. Oh, you could have raised one to be brave and valiant and the other one to be smart.
I've got nothing to say to you. Move along.
Or, you gonna back that up? Yeah, I didn't think so. Coward.
You dare speak to me after bringing such death to Morlod? I
Oh,
will
he
not
is going
stand
to
for
fight
this.
me. Here's someone shouting for help from the entrance. I relent, I relent. Yeah, I bet you relent. Figure you're gonna beat up a hobbit because I'm probably just a little kid, right? Not so fast. Still no tasks, right? Yeah. That's Oldor. Where am I going? Ah, K-Bar.
Am I glad to see you?
A gang of toughs surprised me a few minutes ago, and I had to run and hide. What if they come back? Oh. Hi, guys. That worked well. That was frightening. I'm fine now. Oh, so you're just going to run away. Wow. Find Legolas and Gimli. What's the know that? Legolas Greenleaf. Long under tree.
Someone loosed an arrow at me from hiding.
I am fortunate indeed. This is a town of men and not elves. Or it might have hit its mark. Yes. That's a good way to endear yourself to the guys who just tried to kill you. Mocking them.
What is wrong with these people?
Examine the arrow. It is fortunate this arrow was not loosed with more skill. Talk to Dween here. Oh, and we can guess what? We get to ride all the way back to the top of the town. Unless he's moved in the interim, which is possible. But I don't think in this case it happens to be. I don't know. Can we get up there going left? Going clockwise instead of counterclockwise? Really, whoever the civic planner was for this town, I mean, oh.
Supporters of the heirs of Castamere? No, I do not think they are responsible for this.
Not in the Black Root Vale. My people have suffered much, as have all, and King Elisar did not take the time to visit Morlight himself. There is no conspiracy here, Glabo. The folk of the Vale grieve, and their grief has made them angry. I understand it, for I am angry too. Let's see. This is going to be, should be a significant improvement. About triple the VIT. I lose the will entirely. Lose the will to live entirely. But I gain physical and tactical mitts, resistance, and evade. That's really good defensive neck. I will take that.
I bid you farewell, then, and I will try to master my grief.
Travel south
and that of
of
my
Black Root
people.
Vale in King's Gondor and rejoin Elisar on the road to Anfalas. Oh, yes. Invisible walls. Doesn't matter the game. I hate them in all the games. If I want to jump off the side of the goddamn little town, let me. Don't bounce me back. Even here, I can't. Why? Just fucking why? That's all. Just why? I have questions. Looks like we should head on the western edge here. It's a bear. Oh, we got a big mountain in the way. I'll swing a little bit to the west. Follow the road. Grab a stable point. See what's happening. I'm going to get to Anfalas. I certainly hope the actual Umbar content is good, because the amount of writing I've had to do in the King's Gondor quests is excessive, unexciting, tedious, and irksome. Was the place that had the mine? I can't recall. The stable master.
I never thought to see the days of peace come again.
Next stop is the Havens of Belfalas. So he's just at the edge between the maps, as best I can determine. If memory serves, the southern end of the map was held by Umbar, back when this was originally a live zone, a new zone. Let's see, if he just wants me to ride south, then take this quest.
Halt!
Talk to Malphalem in Morlad. Nope, that's heading back to Morlad. No, thank you. See, back and forth, back and forth. It's really getting on my nerves. And like I said, I can understand them repurposing landscapes that they have built. I have no issue with that. But to do it this extensively, sending us into a couple of these maps to check on things would be one thing. But basically every single map we've been through, riding back and forth for more side quests and stuff, it's just not interesting. It ain't blowing my skirt out. This is where the Corsairs had built their little blockade. Quest actions available. The Plunderer's Crown, Thievery on the Thoroughfare. I don't think so. Should be getting close. Gripping stuff, I know. I have discovered Azrathor's Rue. Let's see if we can avoid somehow I'm dubious. Yep, that's what I expected. So I'm gonna try to ride through the whole goddamn thing. More of them just trying to stretch out the content. It's really disappointing. Ooh, they almost took all the health off of my mount and dismounted me. In the lower right-hand corner, you can see Methane Maker is slowly regenerating his health. New deed, Explorer of Anphalas. Elisar and Arwen. My king?
Thank you for going on my behalf to Morlod.
And give your account of the grim sentiment that pervades the Vale. Duinhir and Rosfin suffered much during the war, and the wound that is the loss of their sons can never be mended. I knew it was so, but let my other concerns guide me, and erred by sending you there. I should have gone as well. On my return journey, after we see Anphalas, I'll go up the Vale and speak with them personally.
This is the road to Anphalas.
Yeah, I know.
Westernmost fief of my husband's kingdom.
He spoke to me as ruler of Galaskill, who marched to the defense of Minas Tirith with a number of soldiers and his household guard. He perished in the Battle of Morannon moments before the defeat of Sauron, and Elzar grieves that he sacrificed so much and never saw the victory for which he died. Travel to the town of Melgolas. Are these things still there? They're going to go, wait a minute. I'm not a fan of quests that the dynamically assigned quests, as you essentially can't drop them, as they'll always come back when you enter wherever the appropriate place is. A corpse prowler. All right. Sounds lovely. Quite a nice place you guys have here. What with the corpse prowlers and all? Where am I? Where the hell am I? Okay, I'm there. A Corsair castaway. I told him he shouldn't go on that 3-hour tour. Wow, this is really big. This is a big and seemingly empty map where I get to fly, ride across the whole thing. Oh my god. And mobs are appearing out of nowhere. I'm not surprised about the Prowler. I guess that's a stealthy mob, but one of the birds did the same thing. Wow, this is a really large landscape, and it is really, really, really empty. Prowler, you can't just sort of lock on and ride, but I think I will be doing more of the traveling and by burning some more mithril coins, because this is killing my brain cells. And I don't have many of those to spare. Sorry. I mean, this is so empty of everything that I can't even, like, comment on anything because there's nothing here to comment on. Kind of hard to keep a patter going when You're riding across a bleak, empty space. I've discovered Melgabas. And that, sadly, will be another scam or fraud call, so I will mute until it's done.
Have you come to help? Good.
I'll be right back. Jesus, a fucking my missing cat call. Really, does anyone lose their cat and get it back through spending money by having thousands of people get spam called? I'm dubious. It's fine, I'm sure.
The king and queen have come to unfollow us? I never thought I would see such a day as
It's like
this.
findyourmoggy.com or something like that. A moggy is a British term for a cat. What the hell are they doing with that? Oh, now I do have to fight some stuff. Defeat Corsairs and Lynx near Melgabas. Right. And I don't suppose you actually have a quest that I would be able to do at the same time. Approach the well across from Melgabas stables.
So I've got no one to play with.
What? Oh. I'm playing hide and seek with a kid. Evidently. Yeah, that can wait. By which I mean, that can not ever get done. Seriously. Come on, guys. Corpse Prowler. Is that considered a lynx? It looks like one of the lynx. We'll find out if it's a lynx. It is. I'm a beast slayer of Gondor. Well, starting it. Just blows my mind that anyone thinks that someone's going to find their cat due to a phone call. I get it. They're concerned about their cat. They want their cat back. I had a cat. I liked my cat very much. Had to give her to my brother after she sent me to the hospital. Cat allergy got bad enough that I actually had to call 911 for the only time in my life. That's all of them. I now need to find 6 Corsairs. That's a Seahawk. Couple of Seahawks. Evidently they're from Seattle. Ha ha ha. No, there's a dude. Corsair Slayer of Outer Gondor. I tell you, if you're having to go to that much, those lengths to define your new deeds and achievements, maybe you're trying a little too freaking hard. Because that's really not interesting sounding, even. Birds and prowlers aplenty. Not as many corsairs running around. Of course, we're rather a long ways away from the ocean. And then I'll get to enjoy the long ride back. Three down, three to go. Nope, corpse prowler. This is not the most fascinating gameplay. Generally been true for the whole damned expansion so far. Friend of mine, Nam, said it was good. So far, it's pretty crap. Two more corsairs. Oh, there's one. One more. We'll start heading back. Should be able to stumble over one somewhere. Really, I am disappointed. Hey, did the game still have players? Really enjoyed playing it when you were a child. And now you're making me feel old. Yeah, generally speaking, it does. Some servers are going to be busier than others. I'm not sure as to which is the busiest off the top of my head. It's also going to depend on exactly what you're doing. If you're leveling up, there's usually a fair number of people. And at the end game, there's lots. But sometimes in the middle, you might find yourself in a map that's pretty empty. The sort of intermediate levels are more likely to be scarcely populated. But it's still going. This is the last expansion they did, which I'm just getting around to now. I think it was about 7 months ago. 8 months ago it came out. And as best we can tell, it's still profitable for Enad Global 7, who owns it. So I don't expect it to be going away anytime soon. And there's some really great content in it. So far, I'm finding this expansion a little lacking, but I haven't even gotten to the primary area of the expansion yet, and I'm hoping that will pick up. But there have been expansions that take us all the way to Minas Tirith, into Mordor, Minas Morgul, into the far north, to Mount Gundabad. So the content has continued even after the defeat of Sauron. Oh, spoilers! For instance, right now I am riding through what is called the King's Gondor. Basically Gondor. Yes, I know. You can't trust me with anything. Basically Gondor after, you know, the fall of Sauron and the marriage of Elisar, Aragorn. Oh, please, not. He'll write it down in that book of his.
You took care of the beasts that threaten Melgabos?
There may be something more serious afoot than even those foes. A guard has come to Melgabos from Lond Kirion. Okay, and where is he? That's him.
If you
Daram?
have the trust of King Elisar, I suppose you have more than earned my own.
That's true, I have. I can use none of these. I'll take the one that costs the most. Oh dear, they all cost the same.
This is not the first time Orgolot has slipped his keeper's watch.
You help me look for him. Search along the beach to the south, and I will ask around the fishing village to see if anyone's seen him of late. Alright, I will search along the beach. Oh, this is going to hurt. Prepare for a... There's the... More, presumably, bourne quests. The side quests are killing my enthusiasm. There's somebody. Is that... Oh, that's Marud. And what is Marud doing?
I'm so very tired.
Collect pebbles
Kingdom
and a
is
piece of
tired too.
driftwood. Huh. Okay. I will... this one theoretically should be quick. I will do this side quest because it should be really quick. A little extra experience is always welcome. Lots of pebbles. No Bam Bam. Flintstones humor. That is, in fact, caveman humor. Did I miss a pebble over here somewhere? I did. Alright, that's the 8 pebbles. Talk to Marud.
Gondor will never be as it was.
Okay. We are looking for Orgolas. Which sounds like Legolas's porn actor brother. Talk to Daram in Melgos. Deed bestowed. Let's see. Corsair Slayer and Beast Slayer of Outer Gondor. They really don't like it when you call it Outer Gondor, though. I mean, come on. They just think of themselves as part and parcel of, you know, Gondor.
You found
Got no
no
sign
sign
of?
of the boy.
No one around the village has seen him. I cannot return to Lond Kirion without him. And, whoops! Look who just teleported in. It's the king!
Do not despair before there is need, my friend.
He strokes his chin. Is there a tall watchtower of some sort along the coast? Golaskil's heir might have climbed to such a tower in order to get a better view of the Corsair ships in the bay. Meet up with King Elisar outside Barad Fain in Anphalas. Well, apparently it's a benefit you get when you're king. You get to just teleport places. It's listed among the benefits of being the king, I guess. This is Barad Fain, and I will spend a
Have you come
mithril
to help?
coin
Good.
for swift travel because the amount of riding around is getting old. Nope. You do not get a dragon. You can fight a dragon a couple of times in the game. There's basically a raid. I think it's a raid. Against one of the dragons. A small one. You know, teeny.
You are here to help.
Of course I'm here to help. To help myself. No, none of those are the quest I'm currently doing. The king does not, as far as I know, get a dragon. But if he was to wear woman's clothing, he would be getting his drag on, if that counts. King Elisar kneels outside Barad Fain, studying the ground intently.
Aye, this is just the sort of place I expected. What do you make of these tracks?
I'm a hobbit and a minstrel. They're tracks. If the king is a dragon, I'll explain how he was flying, teleporting. That's possible. That would not be canon. It's not in the lore, but I can't say it's impossible. It does seem a little bit iffy, but I can't say that it's impossible. And there's Orgalas.
What do you want? I'm not ready to return to Lon Kirion, and you cannot make me.
I can push you over the edge and you can plummet to a painful death. But I won't. This time.
Wait, who is that man? Is he King Elisar?
How on earth could some random kid recognize Elisar? Well, I mean, other than the fact he does have the glowing letters over his head that say King Elisar, which is, I have to admit, a bit of a giveaway. I'm about to get new gloves with almost triple the armor, more than double the will, almost better than triple? Looks like better than triple the vitality. A bunch of critical rating, and some more tactical mitigation. I will accept this quest. And talk to King Elisar.
Lead on, young Master Orgalas. We will follow you to Lond Kirion.
Do we have to? We don't actually have to follow him. We just have to get there, right? Right? Good. Yay. That's the answer I want. Travel to the entrance of Lond Kirion. And once again, I will use the magical travel of setting fire to mithril coins. Where's the crappy little city? There. Crappy little city hiding behind this rock. Little town. City would be exaggerated. I will note, however, that the villagers are higher level than me. Which seems unlikely. Why did these people need help against the orcs and the corsairs? I don't know. Lond Kirion. Yes, I will burn another freaking coin. I am skipping all the side quests because after 3 days, I had made so little progress in the main quest, and I frankly would like to actually get to the meat of the expansion at some point.
Days of peace have come at last to Gondor.
And I'm running out of time. Because on Wednesday, I plan on playing V Rising, because it's launching officially. No longer early access.
Here we are.
Now, you've probably seen impressive places on your journey across Gondor, and Minas Tirith is, of course, very large. But my teachers say that Lont Kirion is older than all of them. Let me show you around. Talk to Daeron at the entrance. Hi, Daeron.
Master Orgelos is very excited, but you and the king should first present yourselves to the
Play V
Lady
Rising as well. Then I think I'm not sure about the Castlevania content. I have no idea if that's free or not. But the rest of all the new content, I believe, is free because it's the actual 1.0 release. So, assuming you've previously bought it when it was in early access, I expect everything except the Castlevania stuff should be free. And the Castlevania stuff is something I'm not interested in, as that's not a franchise that I care about. Alright, and we go to the keep of Lon de Kirion. Lon de Kirion. I believe it gives you a whip as a weapon, but I think that's available as a regular weapon as well. I could be wrong about that. I read about it a little, but I didn't pay much attention to the specifics of the part that were clearly for Castlevania. Yeah.
You and your traveling party are welcome to Lon Kirion, King Elisar.
I find the Kirion Library. More running around for no reasonably good reason. The Library of Lont Kirion smells of dust and candle wax.
Goloskil's heir is too young to rule.
All right. Northwest, the docks, northwest, and docks. All right. Don't suppose they'll let me leap off the edge, will they? Nope. We've got some sort of bad guys over there. More rats or something? They must be outside of town. Those are the corpse prowlers. Nice place you've got here. Quite lovely, you know, except for the corpse prowlers. Those put a bit of a damper on things. Well, theoretically, one of them should be down there, or two of them should be down by the docks. And the other is... Whoops! Well, where does that take me? Down to the docks. Okay. Orgelas watches the soldiers training with sword and bow.
Ho there! I come here often to watch the soldiers training.
Mother says the war is over, but Airhand showed me a ship far off in the bay that must have been full of corsairs. Yeah, you say so, kid. And there is perhaps no other way. Okay. Seems like... Go back up. Oof. Huh. Northwest of town, and of course the map is useless as tits on a bowling ball. I don't know, maybe it is reachable from down here. I didn't see it, but try again. I didn't say it wasn't entertaining. It's not necessarily useful. Might be entertaining. Behind me. What? Find a guardsman on the bridge northwest of LotRO. There's a bridge. Is that the bridge? It's more like an aqueduct. Another variation on the tits on a bowling ball phrase that may go back further is useless as tits on a boar, or tits on a bull hog, something along those lines. Okay. I'm guessing this is the bridge. I'm riding. And riding and riding. Imagine if that was in the Castaway. The bridge offers a breathtaking view of the water. Yeah, it looks like water.
I saw you and King Elisar when you arrived at LotRO in the company of young Master Orgulus.
Frequent visitor to the bridge, the news is poor of late. Corsair ships are often seen along the coast, and they endanger the fisherfolk and peasantry. Do they not know the war is over? Well, you know, they're dicks. You know the film where he talks to the coconut? He talks to the volleyball, sir. Or possibly ma'am. Wilson. Wilson is the name of the volleyball. And back to the king.
Lady Mara and
New
I
gloves.
come to an understanding. Lady Mara's scouts patrol the land.
Talk to
hereabouts
Boreon
in
north
search
of
Corsair
LotRO,
raiding parties.
Galeth on the beach south, and Gilvinel on the hill east. More riding around. But hey. New gloves, big stats. I'm up to 132,000. I believe I was at like 83,000. No, 73,000. 3 days ago when I started the new stuff. And this is worth 100 motes of enchantment. So we will disenchant it. I was really hoping to get to, Umbar today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They are certainly stretching this out. Oh, okay, the Seahawks don't automatically attack. That's good. No, Corsair Castaway. A Seattle Seahawk. Castaway. Prowler. Where's the dude I'm supposed to talk to? I'm past him. He should be back there somewhere. Is he dead? Is he hiding? Should be. Well, Corsair Castaway is standing where he's supposed to be. I'm going to assume that the Corsair Castaway is a bad guy. Wow, and all of a sudden, Boreon teleports in.
We must strive to defend our newly gained
Oh, I have to
peace.
defend him from bad guys. Where are the bad guys? Bad guys, bad guys. Ah, bad guys. Lots of them. Okay, they were bad guys. Now they're dead guys. I helped them. I'm a hero. I'm certain you're all quite impressed. Maybe not. I mean, I did use up my best of the legendary, or sorry, the teal quality legendary bits on my area skills. My single target had to settle for purple quality instead of teal. And I didn't use my small number of legendary ones. Is this guy going to get attacked too? Probably. He should be over here somewhere. Well, I'm going to get rid of him first. Will this make the quest guy teleport in? Not yet. Should be right over here. Teleport. There he is. He teleported in. Gil Venel. Make sure. Yeah, we're ready to go.
Have you come to help? Good.
Where are they? Where are they? There they are. Always we oppose them. You have my thanks. You're welcome. Wow, this is steep. Last of them on the beach. We're almost there. Umbar woodworker's case. Where is he? There he is. Teleported in again.
We must not take these days for granted.
Alright, badness. Over there. Hi guys, let's just light you guys up. You have the thanks of LotRO. Let's see, I think the road up was over here. Should be, I think. This is the minstrel. We scream at things until they die. And occasionally play a little music. This is a DPS minstrel, and I think I have chosen poorly. Yeah, I have. Because I'm mostly solo, No point in going heal when you can kill instead. Why heal when you can kill? You can quote me on that. Is that an entrance? Yeah, it is. Return to LotRO. Nope, that's not where the palace thing is. Report my successes, but not my excesses. That's not it. That's the library at LotRO. Wasn't that connected? I think it was. This is my only character who was at the level 140 cap. My second highest level character is a level 134, I think. Lore Master. K-Bar.
Oh, I am glad you have returned.
A new ring. Let's see. It will take the last of my old rings and do away with it. About more than 5 times the VIT. I lose a little will, but I gain finesse. And, oh, I don't lose will. I gain some. It's not a great improvement, but it's a solid improvement, so we will finish now.
Will you accompany me, my friend? The king did not prohibit
I'm
it
your
so far as I
friend.
know.
I think you're taking a liberty when you call me your friend, sir. We're co-workers, okay? It's not friends. Yes, I will accept.
Thank you,
And
my
it's
friend.
an instance.
I will not forget
Questy
this.
bit.
Today we are gathered to hear the last wishes of Galasgil, Lord of Anfalos, who fell in service.
Hush now, K-Bar, he
of the
chides
kingdom.
himself. This is a solemn occasion. Yeah, then shut
Lord
the hell up.
Galasgil's last wishes should have been presented before now.
And who are you?
Why wait so many months to reveal
Korukan.
his wishes?
I found them only today.
Oh, is that so? They were lost.
No, he's kind of a douche.
Bring them forth, Lady Mara, if you will.
Lady Mara, thank you. Pardon the yawn.
The seal is broken.
I stepped on it.
How are we to know the contents of this testament are as Lord Galasgil intended?
I mean, he's not wrong so far, but he is a
Mara
dick.
might have written anything within.
Galasgil Testament. The seal on these papers has indeed been broken, which is unusual for such a document.
My scribe has much skill and experience with the written word.
Get over there, K-Bar.
He will tell us if Galasgil wrote this testament.
K-Bar?
Kaibar, will you examine the writing
Kaibar?
contained within, please?
Oh, yes, of course, my king.
Just call him Strider like I do.
It is true, the seal is broken, but the letter within is written in only one hand.
I think we all could have told that by ourselves.
That proves nothing. Mara might have written or rewritten it in its entirety.
Did she scrape off what was there before, or have a really good eraser?
Lady Mara, can you produce a sample of your husband's writing for us?
Oh, I suppose there might be something within this chamber.
You think so? Do you have any books?
My friend, find a sample of Galasgil's writing. Show it to Kaibar.
Okay. Lots and lots of possibly notes. All right, well, we'll start here. Are they going to make us go through all of them, or will we find one earlier? Pages, okay, that seems to be sufficient. Found something written in Galaskel's hand. Aye, these notes are extensive, and see where he signed them here at the bottom. Must have been very interesting. Let me compare. Okay, compare. The handwriting matches perfectly. There, shut up, Korra.
Thank you, Kaibar. Read us now the last wishes of Lord Galasgil, if you would.
Very well, my king.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
I, Galasgil of Anfalas, make this record in the library of Lond Kirion, my home. Tomorrow I depart for Minas Tirith at the command of the steward Denethor.
He's dead.
Should I not return, this testament will direct the disposal of my land and property.
Fade to black. For the better part of an hour, Kaibar reads Galaskel's last wishes. Well, I'm glad they didn't stretch that out to an hour.
And to the fishing village of Melgobas, I leave that same sum in gold. I direct also that they be given my notes on water temperature and the currents.
So that they can sleep at night.
The streams of Gondor all lead to the sea eventually. But it seems to me that even the Bay of Belfalas has rivers of its own.
And we're going to fade to black again.
I have one more wish, and I hold it most dear. To my son Orgolas, I leave the great ship Folfaroth, the Wave Hunter. May he command the Wave Hunter in service of Gondor when he is old enough. I hope to stand alongside him on the deck when he does. But if I cannot, may he follow in his father's footsteps all the same.
Okay.
To my dear wife Mara, I leave my love and all remaining lands and titles I possess.
You could have skipped to just the end there.
May she rule Anfalas well and wisely until our son and my heir Orgolas comes of age. That is the end.
Korrakon's going to complain. Because he's a whiner.
Thank you, Kaibar. As King of Gondor, I command that these wishes of loyal Galasgil be carried out as best they may.
Thank you for your part in this. There is still a question I want answered, but it is of a sensitive nature. I'll allow the audience to disperse. Wow, Korrakon kind of rolled over. Lady Mara?
I am sorry, but it was very hard to hear these things.
I will shed no more tears. I wish this letter had not been read here today.
I have to ask you something, Mara.
Why did you break the seal upon your husband's last wishes? The parchment was not found only today, as you suggested. The paper was in your possession since Galaskel departed, and you knew its contents before now.
I am grateful for your discretion earlier, my king.
For Korrakon would seek any advantage he could from this, and Galaskel would never forgive me, should a widow's weakness endanger Orgolas's claim. But I broke the seal and read my husband's last wishes out of fear that he would do as he had indeed done, granted to his son and mine that cursed ship, Wave Hunter. How often did he speak of his intention for Orgolas to follow in his own steps and become a great mariner like his father? Too often, and every time it cut me deeply. The Wave Hunter was harbored upstream in Pinath Gelen during the war to protect it from the Corsairs, and I have refused to summon it back here to keep Orgolas as far from it as possible. When I saw such a bequest had been made, I did not know what to do, but I cannot disobey the command of the King of Gondor, hindering Galaskel's wishes. It was bad enough, but I fear for my son's safety. He's so young. You must understand. Well, he doesn't have to. He probably does, because he's an understanding kind of guy.
I entreat you to forbid Orgolas from leaving Lon Kirion.
Well, I
no
kind of
matter
doubt
what
he's
his
going to do
father
that.
has
But he
gifted
might.
to him.
Dr. Queen Arwen in the main hall. I will accept that. And, will this be a new and improved shield? I just got a new and improved shield. Slightly more critical defense, slightly more will, slightly more vitality. slightly more block and slightly more tactical mastery. Yeah, I'll use it. Tactical mastery instead of mitigation, however. But yes, I will use it. I will accept. I have to talk to Arwen. Hi, Arwen.
I understand this request.
Talk to Mara in the main hall.
But
Okay.
I fear you may
Mara
do
in the
more
main
harm
hall.
with it than you will prevent.
I do not know. What if this journey
I
gives
do not
life to the
know.
embers that might otherwise have cooled? But if you permit Daram to also join your traveling party, that he may attend to my son and keep him safe, I suppose I could not refuse. Talk to Daram outside the keep. In Lond Kirion.
I am surprised Lady Mara has agreed to allow Orgalos to depart with the king and queen.
Dr. Orgalos.
Is it true?
I get the
I am to
very,
depart
very
with the king's
slightly
party for
improved shield.
Pinat-Gelly? That is wonderful news! Do you think there will be fighting?
Talk to King Elisar outside the keep of Lond Kirion. Let me equip my new shield. Which looks like the previous shield, I'm pretty sure. They are identical. The only difference is this one's probably, is 2 item levels higher and has tactical mastery instead of tactical mitigation. So a little more offense instead of a little more defense. Yo, King.
Young Orgalos says the road we must take through Thingast may be haunted.
Defeat beasts or spirits in Thingast. Oh, that way. Right, okay. Across the great big bridge. Three and a half days worth of play, and we are further from Umbar than we've been at any time in the last 4 days. All right, beasts or spirits in Thingast, but only 6 of them. That shan't take too long. Quite the bridge they've got here, though. Don't know if it needs these big pillars. I mean, sure, it gives it a fancy-dancy look, but I don't think it's engineering. In engineering terms, it's necessary. I doubt the crag crawler counts, but the Seahawk might because it's a hostile critter. It did. How about the crag crawler? Nope! Oh, yes, I take it back. But also, Insect Slayer of Outer Gondor deed begun. Wonder how many people have actually done any of these freaking deeds. Oh, we've got an Avank. And now dead Avank. Scanning. Scanning for targets. Crag crawler counts. Four out of 6. They shall call me Bug Squisher. We have another Avank. Holy crap. We have a Hwarn. Didn't see him pop up out of nowhere. Well, we'll just... Even though he's an elite mob, we're going to take him apart. another Avank. That's 6 out of 6. Have to go north? I thought I was going to Andrast, but I guess not, huh? Yeah, I'm heading north to Iafel in Tumrost. Haradrim Warrior. It is still supported. I am currently playing, well, it's the latest expansion as it just became available for purchase with the in-game currency rather than cash. And that was about 7 or 8 months ago it came out. It kind of depends on the content. Some of the content that they rolled out over the years has been very, very good, and some of it's a little lackluster. Yeah, it's regularly updated. Like I said, this latest expansion was, I think, 7 or 8 months ago. And this is the Corsairs of Umbar expansion. They have done some graphical upgrades. I will say that the character models, the older ones, definitely show their age. But they have some updated character models that are better. They're still dated. The architectural stuff and landscape stuff is still quite good, especially the architectural stuff. The architectural stuff is intermittently spectacular. Minas Tirith is a masterpiece. Yeah, this is the sort of stuff that would look a little better if you haven't played for some length of time. The landscape stuff is still nice, and the architectural stuff is a lot of it's great. Minas Tirith is a masterpiece. Minas Morgul is really good. Helm's Deep was spot on. The content itself is hit or miss. It's more hit than miss, but there are some parts that are not up to the quality of other parts, for sure. Helps when the game go with an art style instead of realism. It ages better. I agree. Definitely agree. I mean, wow, they have improved the quality of the art, but the fact that they've always gone with the comic book style has always meant that the game has been workable on a lower end system. I think Guild Wars still looks great, and it has the same style it's always had.
You are here to help?
Stable Master, yes.
There is always work to be done.
There's always work to be done. All right. Grethwil.
Do you have a moment for me?
Talk to Gwyndir, northwest of the entrance to Yatho. There's Gwyndir. So, if you played in the past and enjoyed the game, other than a daunting amount of content, there's no reason not to give it another try. There is a daunting amount of content. If you played the original game, that was up to level 50. Moria took it to 60. I'm currently level 143. 150 is the current cap. Modern day LotRO MMO will probably sell well, but who knows? Well, we should get to find out. There's currently one being made. A few years ago, there was one going to be made. That got killed when the company that was making it got bought out by Tencent. And recently, that license went to the Embracer Group, sadly. But the Embracer Group got a boatload of cash from Amazon for the license. Amazon has the license for a Lord of the Rings MMO. How far they are in the game work, we don't know. pick grapes. Seriously. This is the epic quest, and I'm going to be picking grapes. Fine. Fine. Grapes. I'm picking grapes. Yeah, that's one of the many games these days where people have asked me how long I think it'll be, and my response is the over-under is me in the ground. 50-50 as to whether I live to see it. Okay, 6 vines of grapes. All right, have some grapes. They're thinking it would be direct competition with their New World MMO. Right now, New World, at least if you read the Reddit, New World is not in a happy place, and some of the blame, right or wrong, for its current state is a number of the people there think developers have been moved off of New World to the Lord of the Rings.
You have done very well with the work.
Select wines for the King's Company. Oh, hey, I get to get drunk on the job. This is the best Hobbit job ever, as long as it comes with like snacks too. Well, it's in development as to when it's going to come. Who knows? Bring it to who? Over there. Grethel. Well, I've played from at one of the early alphas in New World, and it's always had a rather narrow attraction. There are some people who love the core gameplay, and I like the core gameplay a lot. And then most other people look at the core gameplay and they go, how could anyone like that? So I think it's always had a bit of a niche. And sadly, the development on it has been lagging for the last 4 months, maybe. And the fans aren't happy. And the team that's working on New World keeps saying, we've got a big announcement coming in June. And that's basically every time people complain about stuff isn't happening, why aren't things happening? They say, we've got a big announcement coming in June. What that big announcement is, who knows? The state of the game, I know that the subreddit is not happy with the state of the game. I think the combat is engaging. And like I said, I think some people really like the core gameplay loop. And other people, they just don't get it. They don't understand how anyone could. So it's always been tough for them to spread out, to leverage the game features when a lot of people just don't see why it would be fun. Now, I'm one of the ones who does find it fun, but I do understand why there are people who don't, and why I would say most people don't particularly find it fun. That's not meant to discourage anyone here from trying it, because like I said, I like it. But not everyone does.
Our next destination is Ost-Arndir, stronghold of the Lord of the Green Hills.
Always wanted a full-out pirate MMO. Thought that's what Skull and Bones would be. Kind of disappointed with that one. I haven't had a chance to play Skull and Bones. I expect I'll try it. There is an older game called Pirates of the Burning Sea. You can look into. I believe that is free and basically is being run as a fan server. Pirates of the Burning Sea.
Healween's daughter is named Nauriel. She is high in the order of knights that protect...
Travel to the northern entrance of the keep of Ost-Arndir, northeast. Okay, I will cheat again and spend another...
We must not take these days for granted.
...coin for swift travel. Sea of Thieves isn't an MMO. Thought about trying that. My understanding is... First of all, almost all games are better with friends. But my understanding about that is you basically have to play with other people as a co-op group type deal. I've never played it. because, well, that disincentivized me as I generally prefer solo play. I know they have continued to add a lot of content and polish and whatnot to it. You like playing as a group? Well, I mean, some games are better with a group, and some games pretty much kind of need a group. Yeah, it was definitely a rough launch. Yeah, I was paying attention to the game at that time, and it was pretty trash. My understanding is, you know, the work has been put in, lots of work and time has been put in. The game's much better now, much more content, feels much more rich. But again, it's a tough thing for me to find people to play with. My friends are not as flexible with their schedules as I am. So it can be tough for me to get a group of friends together to do anything. Pretty much had a rough launch. I mean, I remember a lot of the problems in WoW. And they were worse than they had been in beta, for sure. Well, FF14 wasn't a rough launch. It was a terrible game, I've been told. I would love to actually try to play the original version and see what that was like. Yeah, they shut the game down for, what, a year, 2 years, and then relaunched. Obviously, that has been a successful choice. Talk to Lady Nariel. Where is the lady? In the lake. Is she inside? I'm going to guess she's... Oh, Lady Nariel's keep. I'm going to guess she's in her keep. Initially, at that time, I think I was playing... I don't remember what I was playing. I wasn't interested in WoW when they announced it. My reaction to it was, oh, crappy cartoon type style graphics. That looks awful. I got into the beta, I played it, and the gameplay was so much more polished than anything else I had played at the time. That's what convinced me to play it at launch. It was completely gameplay. It was polished and straightforward, and if you'll allow me to steal a phrase from Todd Howard, it just worked. On the game level. It was just a much more cohesive game, top to bottom. I wanted to do, they were going to shut it down and rework and come back. Anthem. Yeah, they decided not to rework Anthem, and that was disappointing. I agree completely. There were a lot of things in that game that had me interested, and then EA, in their infinite stupidity, decided not to rework it. Just shit-canned the whole game. And you would think companies would learn from the example of something like Final Fantasy XIV. You put in, I'll get to that in a second, you put in some time and money and improve your product, the game can be saved. But no. So, Diesel is how I'm going to attempt to pronounce that as followed. So, you get my one and only spiel. Welcome to my humble little stream of misfunction, malfunction, dysfunction, and frequently complete and total unfunction. You're most welcome indeed, and thank you very, very much for the follow. Thanks, and good evening. Anthem could have competed with Destiny. So many games have made comebacks lately. I agree that the games have made comebacks, and I would love to see more companies not drop kick it when they've failed. EA doesn't follow the trend of making things work. They prefer to just shut things down and kill franchises. They prefer to keep doing the same game over and over and over, because sadly there are people who will buy the 2025, 2026, 2027, and so on versions of every game. Sethko. I am indeed playing my minstrel. This is Glabo Smackbody. You may remember him. Major Kicks. Good evening. Major Kicks. There's a little hydrate and 2 quick laps. Jumping jacks without jumping, because you don't want to see that. That's 1 lap. And a couple more arm waves. I'm back and I'm winded. Whew. Well, we'll just call them jacks. Yeah, those were jacks. Wasn't really any jumping involved. Talk to Lady Nariel. I would if they were around. Their ring is here. Are they upstairs somewhere? Are there stairs somewhere? Oh, maybe she's down below. Seems unlikely that the lady would be there, but... Did I go outside? Looks like I went outside. Okay, that was... Oops, no. Now she's over there. Is she running around? When does this take place? This takes place after, right now. Well, I mean, you start off basically right at the start of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. When you start at level 1, if you're not familiar with the game. Right now, I'm at level 143, and this is after the War of the Ring. Aragorn is King Elisar now. And we are running around in what is called the King's Gondor. That's not going to work. And theoretically, this questline eventually leads to Umbar. But I haven't made it to Umbar yet. And I've been at it for 3.5 days. Yeah, it actually goes past the end. In essence, spoiler, around a level 100 or 105, we have the fight at the Black Gate. And after that, we go to Mordor. Aragorn gets married. We go to Minas Morgul. We go to Gundabad. We cover all kinds of things. Who's there to fight now that everyone's dead? Ah, but they're not. Yeah, I'm running around with Aragorn right now. Yeah, you start as a lowly rando that gets kind of dragged into the war. You follow, you sort of follow the Fellowship and occasionally intersect with them. Occasionally get ahead of them. But there are still bad guys. There are orcs that are still in Gundabad. There's the remains in Mordor. This is eventually going to take me to Umbar, where the Corsairs were. Okay, so I'm going to assume that she's not downstairs. Well, there's Daron. I went through that door, right? Yeah. And she wasn't down. I do not have permission to use that door. You see players very often depending on where you are. So, for instance, I have... Nope. This content was brand new about 8 months ago, I think. So I have seen, a few, not a huge number of players running around here. If you go to one of the big cities like Minas Tirith or Bree, very busy. Presumably, if you go to the hubs of the newest areas in Umbar, you'll see plenty of players. It's also going to depend on which server you're on. Aha, I found the stairs up. I think. Some servers are going to be more heavily populated than other servers. No, she's not here. I can't open that. This is not going as I expected. Yeah, everyone's hanging out in the hubs, generally speaking. Finally found her. There's the king. So Aragorn, Arwen. Basically, he's doing a tour through Gondor after the war, after his marriage. And eventually the storyline will lead me to Umbar.
I am pleased to see you among the Green Hills, King
Theoretically.
Elisar and Queen Arwen.
This is day 4. Find Thorongil's room inside the keep of Ost Arntir. Oh, great. Yeah, I'll do that. Thanks. That doesn't open. That doesn't open. Thorongil and Orglass stand uncertainly together. Thorongil, Orglass. My theory about Orglass is that that is Legolas's little-known brother, who is a porn actor. Orglass and Legolas.
Hello. I'm going to train to be a knight when I'm old enough.
That's nice. Talk to Orglass in Thorongil's room.
I will be fine. You can go now.
Orglass. It's a combination of orgasm and Legolas. So he's Legolas's little brother who will grow up to be a porn actor. Elf actor. Elf porn? So hot. Talk to Hebron in Ost Arndir. You decide to leave the boys to play their game and see if Hebron has any work for me. Work? I don't want to work. Must be downstairs. This is one of my brand new least favorite maps in the game. Legolas Broski that had his shins. Okay, that's not the way. There's the stairs. Shins locked off like Cotton Hill. I don't get the reference. I'm going to assume outside. Let's talk to Hebron. I mean, we are out at the ass end of Middle-earth. We're here. Here. We're out here somewhere. So, like, out here somewhere, there's Mordor, Minas Tirith, and we're... Does not know King of the Hell references, I have to admit. Guilt.
There is always something that needs doing in and around Ostandir.
Defeat foes throughout Peneth Gelen. I gotta kill 10 things. Just 10 random bad things. And none of them are close by. Awesome. My biggest issue with this expansion, so far anyway, is the amount of riding around that needs to be done. For no particularly... it feels like they're stretching the material out. Like I said, I'm 3.5 levels into the expansion, and I haven't gotten to the Umbar place of Corsairs of Umbar. Nope. I don't think I have Nightbot running. Let's see if this counts as one of the critters I need to kill. It does. So, basically it looks like I can just murder about anything and get credit. So my response to that will be to murder anything. This ram was just standing there minding its own business, but now it said, there's another player. See? I'm not alone. That's Lithis Lightheart, friend of hobbits. Well, as a hobbit, I kind of object to that description of themselves. They're not necessarily my friend. I do not have much up in the way of bots. Ooh, a goblin prowler. Goblins here? Because generally speaking... It always seems to me that bots are more appropriate for a busier streamer. And I'm usually, when I'm streaming, I'm not so busy I can't take care of, you know, chat and talking to people, answering questions and that kind of thing. But when I'm famous and rich, then I'll have bots and mods and special sound effects and all the hot babes I could ever want. Minstrels now do not heal, they DPS. I cannot speak for all minstrels, but my minstrel has always been DPS. I've heard rumors of healing ones, but I think they're totally overblown. No real minstrel is going to heal. The classes. Let's see if I can remember them all. Heavy armor wearers. You have Guardian, Captain, Champion, and I think Brawler. Medium armor classes. You have the newest one, the Mariner. You have Burglar. You have Hunter. And Seth, go help me out. Who am I missing in the middle? Oh, Bjorning. And I think one more? Warden? I think Warden, yeah. Warden's medium. And then the light armor. Yeah, I did get Bjorning, and Major Kicks, I think, got Warden. In the light, you've got Lore Master, Minstrel, Runekeeper. I'm missing something. Guys, help the old man out. I can only come up with 3. So that's at least roughly. And they add classes. The Mariner was just added with this expansion, and previous to that, they brought out the Brawler, maybe a year and a half before that. Well, and each class has 3 different specs, usually, that they can spec into. I can show you, not that. Minstrels have 2 spec lines. They can go healing or damage, and then they can both put in points into this line as well, which is sort of utility. So damage and utility, or healing and utility. And I need to kill 2 more things. Just anything will do. Okay. It's a Hills Stalker. Sounds right. 13. Are there really only 3 lights? Minstrel, Lore Master, and Runekeeper? This is a Minstrel, which for most of the game's history was the best of the healing classes in the game. But healing, soloing with a healing class, it's not fun. Alright, I have defeated 10 mobs for you, sir.
I am grateful for your service on behalf of
Talk to Thorungil outside the keep of Ost Arndir, and he's right over there. The 2 little boys are playing.
Do you often befriend liars and encourage them to speak untruths?
He says that King Elisar adventured with my grandsire Hirluin in Umbar many years ago, and he is a Thorungil for whom I am named. Yeah, that's actually true. Remember in DC, they'd always take healers solo, heal, and then wonder why things went bad. Well, this game, at least early on, definitely benefited from a wide variety of skills. A group was always better off if it had a captain in it as well, for buffing, and a lore master for crowd control and debuffing. So it wasn't a classic DPS, heal, and tank, of the three archetypes that always had to be there. There was wiggle room. Captains could tank to a degree, and they could heal to a degree, and also had really good buffs. Lore Master has buffs, debuffs, crowd control, pets. So the flexibility was one of the things that was, at least initially anyway, quite good about the game. Let's see, we have a brand new hood. It'll give me a little more armor, almost double the will, a little bit less vit, a lot of finesse and tactical mitigation, and less tactical mastery and crit. Sure. I have a new hat. Is it a good hat?
Just making it up.
It's not a great hat. It just looks like a hippie headband. But I'll wear it. And I will convert the old one into motes of enchantment. Can that get converted too? It can. I will convert that into motes of enchantment. Let's see. Bjorning, Brawler, Burglar, Captain, Champion, Guardian, Hunter, Lore Master, Mariner, Minstrel, Runekeeper, Warden. I think we got them all. I will accept. Talk to Orgalas.
But it is true. I am not lying.
You tell the boys they should not go alone. They pay you no mind. There's no stopping them. Oh, I have to follow the boys, do I? And they vanished. You should tell someone where they plan to go. Gandalf would be a lore master. At least in my humble opinion. Initially, the game had 8 classes, and those 8 classes were meant to represent one of each of the fellowship. So the captain was Aragorn, I think. The champion was Boromir. Burglar was Frodo? I guess not all of them, because Pippin and Merry, I don't think, had a role to play. So were there 7 then? 7 classes originally? Burglar, Captain, Champion, Guardian, Hunter, Lore Master, Minstrel. 7. Yeah. So everyone except the ancillary hobbits. One of the classes was based on them. Find Daram at the Keep's kitchen. Yeah, Sam was the Guardian. The first movie, Aragorn had on the coolest introductions in the movie, pretending to be a ranger. Well, he was the ranger. All of the rangers were essentially his kin. From the north. The Rangers of the North. Alright, the kitchen. Where's the kitchen? Was downstairs, I think? No, he's in here, okay.
What? Orgalas
Yeah,
has left
well,
the king
he
with
was going to
Nariel's
be the
son
king.
Already?
No, in the book at least, he knew it. Find Orgalas and Throngil near the Wave Hunter. Yeah, he was Dunedain. Which literally means man of the West. It is good to be the king. He knew, but there's a big backstory. Yeah, there was, well, it's Tolkien. So much backstory. So much backstory. Well, let's see. If you look behind me, you can make out a poster. I'll give you a better look. Try to ignore the ugly face in front and look over here. right there, you can see a Lord of the Rings poster for Fellowship of the Ring. I won that in a contest. It is signed by Gandalf himself, Ian McKellen. Now that sounds incredibly awesome and cool. You might not think so when I tell you the contest was from Burger King. It was a really hard contest, though. It was filled with genuinely difficult questions about the Lord of the Rings. Honestly and truly difficult, so much that when I filled it out, I had no problem getting it done, but then I had read the book more than 40 times. But it was obvious to me that that was a tough test, so to speak, and most people who would take it wouldn't get them all right. The grand prize was a trip to the premiere of the Fellowship. I got the first prize. Me and I think like 10 or 12 other people. So I didn't get the grand prize, but I got the first prize. Why were the Dunedain blessed with long life? Aragorn says he's 88 or 87 in the Two Towers movie. No, it's not that humans live uber long. It's that he is descended from the line of the Númenórean kings. The Númenórean king, the first Númenórean king, was Elrond's brother. The two brothers were both half-elves, and they were given the choice as to whether to live as an elf or live as a man. Elrond chose to live as an elf. His brother chose to live as a man, the king of Númenor, and was gifted with an extra long life. And that long life continued through the line all the way down to Aragorn. But Major Cakes is right about the midlife crisis. Orgelas peers up at the rigging of the Wave Hunter.
I told him not to do it, but he would not listen to me.
Now he's halfway up the rigging. Talk to Daram.
What if he falls? At least Orgelos has sense enough to stay on solid ground.
I'm not burdened with the duty of protecting Thorongil. Still, I do not want him to fall, but thank the Valar, it is not Orgelas up there. Lady Mara would cook me on a spit and serve me to her guests. Ooh, long pig. That would be delicious. So presumably, I have to cross onto the deck of the Wave Hunter. High above you, Thorongil clings to the rigging above the Wave Hunter. Wow, this could be Guild Wars 2, where I always have to do things to rescue my stupid friends. All right, I have to beckon to him. From the deck of the Wave Hunter, beckon to Thorongil to come down. Why should I? He calls down. Did they ever say why they didn't add Tom Bombadil to the movies? I don't think they had to. Oh, he grudgingly dissents. Sadly, the entire part of Bombadil and the Barrow Downs, that's at least 45 minutes that the movie didn't have to. Ow! The movies didn't have to spare. They just could. If they included lots of the cool stuff that happened along the way, they don't get the movies done in 7 or 8 hours, however long it takes. Movies make it look like it only took a few months, but the actual journey, yeah, it was much, much, much longer than it appears in the movie. Yeah, and he is a complete sideline. He has nothing to do with the main storyline. A lot of people complained about Bombadil being not included, but I would have been surprised if he had been included. Bombadil's not my favorite character. I would have been interested in seeing the Barrow Wights done, but I could do without Bombadil. In-game here, anytime Bombadil is on screen, you'll hear me call him a dirty hippie. Best loader game ever, Two Towers on PS2. I have heard really good things about it. I never played it.
You worry too much. He was not in any danger.
Talk to Orgelos, all right? I bit my lip, and I bit that lip in the exact same place a couple of days ago, and that hurts. It's because I'm flapping my lips so much.
We should return to Ost-Arndir.
Return to the northern entrance keep of Ost-Arndir, west of the Wave Hunter. And this is kind of indicative of what so much of the first part of this expansion has been. A lot of ride to a place, do a little thing, and then have a nice long ride back to the first place. My favorite movie out of all the Lord of the Rings movies is definitely the first. It's the truest to the books. There's so much love for lore and Tolkien stuff in general. It's awesome. Well, I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say I've read it more than 40 times. I stopped counting in the mid-40s. Not my mid-40s, the age. The mid-40s of the number of times I've read the book. I used to be able to write fluently in Elvish and 2 different kind of dwarf runes. I know a lot of Elvish. I have 2, count them, 2 Elvish dictionaries. Here's one. I don't know where the other one's gotten off to. I have 2, count them, 2 single volume copies, hardbound, of The Lord of the Rings. I have a first printing, first edition of the Silmarillion. I'm not well. Return to the northern entrance. It's not the northern entrance. Looks like the northern entrance to me. I do not have a Klingon dictionary. I do not. There's one online, though. I know that. Hebron.
The boys are safe.
I have received 100 messages today in Restream chat. Thank you guys for being Gabby. I always like it. I'm always more engaged, and I think I'm more engaging and have a better stream, and I'm a better streamer with a live, active chat. I have a new earring. That will be a nice improvement. Let's see. Slight decrease in will. 4? 5 times improvement in vitality? Physical mitigation, some fate. Sure, we'll take that. Did I ever see the clip when Liv Tyler went on Stephen Colbert and gave him and serenaded him in Elvish with the sword? I did not. No, I know that Stephen Colbert is an enormous Lord of the Rings nerd too.
The Lady Norio prepares a response to deal with the Corsair raiders.
And that is, sadly, always drives me crazy. Swapping items when you have 2 items should work. You right click on it, it should always replace the lowest level item if you've got 2. I know, I'm a demanding whiner. See, and this is my actual attire, and it's not good looking. This is how I look. Now this is one damn good looking hobbit. She repeated the lines when she saved Frodo. He lost it. Yeah, he would. Talk to Nariel in Ost. Yeah, a new quest. Raiders in Tomb Roast. Where am I going now? Where am I off to now? To my right? Looked like it was to my right. Talk to Noriel. Is she still in the keep? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, he's always been an enormous Tolkien nerd. So she's still up above, and the stairway was... It was someplace really stupid. One of the coolest scenes from the movie when she saved him and the horses made out of water. I see, now that's one of the things I have an issue with, is I know why they added Arwen as a character. They did it to increase the number of female characters in the movie, so I completely understand it, but that's not in the books. Yeah, the added scene. And she had nothing to do with it. That was her father's magics, with the horses being added by Gandalf. Yeah, it wasn't Arwen that summoned it. She had nothing to do with it, so I understand why they, you know, juiced up the part of Arwen, as it's not a movie with a lot in the way of female characters. Pretty much Éowyn is about it in the book.
A number of Corsair ships have sailed in secret.
Talk to King Elisar.
We will fight alongside you to defend the Green Hills, Nariel.
Talk to him in the keep in Ost-Arndr and join the defense of Toomrost. Evidently,
let us depart for Toomroast.
We're off to Toomroast to fight.
The people of Eafel suffer at the hands of the Corsairs. The smell of burning grapes hangs on the air.
Fight alongside King Elisar in Eafel. We must defend the folk of Eafel from the Corsairs. Corsair deckhand. I thought it said something very different. Okay, that was a mistake. That may get me killed. I should not have done that. I should not have done that. I should not have used that AE. It's fine, though, because I'm overpowered. I will not use that AE again in a similar circumstance. It's not going to matter. They're all coming anyway. Okay. They seem quite enthused when I attack one of their number. Well, my assumption is your average person who has seen The Lord of the Rings never read The Lord of the Rings. Used to read when you were younger, gave such a hard time reading and gave up. You have to reread things like 3 or 4 times before they sink in. I have a number of friends who swear by audiobooks. One of them is a rather severe dyslexic. Loves to read, but functionally really can't read, you know, a big book. He can read like an email and everything by concentrating, but a full book he kind of gets lost. Rosaran. Would that I had a company of mounted swan knights with which to sweep the Corsairs from this place. Okay, evidently we're going to go this way. Is everyone coming this way? Or no, I guess it's just me. Alright, we'll let him get their attention. And I'll finish off. The Goobers. Most people who read Lord of the Rings struggle with the 2 towers. It starts off quite boring. I've had a lot of friends that I had to basically talk into reading The Lord of the Rings. They wanted to read it. They didn't like it when they started. And I said that there are 2 places in The Lord of the Rings where people, in my experience, get hung up. The first is if you get to the chapter with the shadow of the past, you get by it. And the other is if you make it to Moria, you'll usually get past it. So those are the two sort of points I told people, if you can get to there, you know, if you get to the Shadow of the Past, that'll pull most people in. And if you that still doesn't grab you, you can stick it out to Moria, and Moria doesn't grab you, then yeah, I don't think the book will work for you. Find and defeat Corsairs hiding behind the northern building. Heard someone about the scene with the Spider Queen, can't remember. Shelob with Frodo, not accurate really either from the movie. Yeah, not especially, but it doesn't go terribly far afield as far as some of the scenes do. My personal favorite, least favorite, is elves at Helm's Deep. I consider that to be, obviously it's not part of the story, but even more so, I consider it to be antithetical to the story. I consider it detracts from the story. And of course, Legolas surfing on a shield is the stupidest thing in the entire trilogy. Legolas and Gimli really have that kind of relationship in the book. Or just movie fluff. They weren't hostile, but they weren't friendly to start with, but it wasn't too long before they got along fine, and in fact, in the end, became the best of friends. Sadly, one of the other things I don't like about the movie is that they turn Gimli into the comic relief. That's true, they did count the enemies. But again, it wasn't done for humorous effect. That's a big issue for me. They turned Gimli into the, comic relief. It just always really, really bugged me. Because dwarves are every bit as badass as elves are. We were fortunate, talked to Gimli and Legolas. He's constantly the butt of the jokes, and the whole nobody tosses a dwarf and toss me, that's just dumb. It's not only dumb, it's topical dumb, in that dwarf tossing was something they did in bars. Seriously, you can look it up. Talk to Gimli in the main square. I don't see a Gimli. Of Iafel. Are we not in Iafel? I guess we have to head south to get to the square. Then why is there a ring there? I don't know. There's Gwyndor. So that should be it. Alright, there we go. Fight alongside Gimli, huh? Okay. Come on, Stumpy. Didn't like the portrayal of Legolas? No, the portrayal of Legolas was fine. The part where he skateboards or surfboards on a shield was painfully stupid and looked terrible. It looked every bit as fake as it was. Generally, Helm's Deep was well done. How old were you at the time? Because remember, I was already an old man. Yeah, see, that's the thing. And that is an appropriate response for a kid to have. No, that did not happen in the books. There were no no elves at Helm's Deep. Just men. Men, one elf, one dwarf. My friends, how fare the folk of Yafel? Search along the shoreline for any sign of hidden corsairs. Corsair leaps out. And I yell at him a couple of times and he falls over dead. They're really kind of weenies, man. I just yell at them a few times and they give up living. They always take liberties in the movies. Hopefully the movies did. I think the movies are a respectful presentation of the books. I have some problems with it, but then I'm cranky and crabby in general, and most specifically about the Lord of the Rings. But I think overall it was a very respectful and entertaining presentation of the books.
Thorongil wanted to get a closer look at the ships.
I think Peter Jackson did a very good job with very difficult material.
Orgalos.
Unlike The Hobbit.
Stay at Ostandir.
I'm sorry, my king, but Thorongil!
Breathe deeply, Orgalos, and then tell us what befell Thorongil.
Compared to other book adaptations, the movies were a lot better. Yeah, it's like I said, it was respectful of the material. And you could tell that the guy doing the directing, Peter Jackson,
I told him we should turn
is
around,
an enormous fan of the
but
Lord of the
he
Rings.
wanted to get closer to the ships. I hid in a bush, but he kept going, and one of the corsairs seized him.
So I finally got to go to freaking Umbar. One of the corsairs, a huge lout with muscles like I have never seen. Picked him up, the big lout, put his sword away, and hauled Thorongil into their boat. And they rowed out to the river and were gone.
They called her the Reaper of the Waves.
That was Reaper, R-E. Just want to be clear. Reaper of the Waves. I think we know this captain. Nikasi has reason to hate Gondor. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, you are. Private encounter will end. I mean, you can make a movie that is respectful of the original material and still quite different. Blade Runner, the movie, the first one, is enormously different from the source material, which was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. But the final version, Philip K. Dick saw the script. I don't know if he saw the movie, but he saw the script and he liked it a great deal because he felt it was true to a lot of the sort of questions that were asked in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep about the nature of being human.
This outrage cannot stand.
And yet it will.
I think there is reason to believe the Corsairs will not harm.
Are you prepared for a chase? I don't know.
Return to Anfalas as quickly as you can.
Travel to the southern coast of Thingast, southwest of Londkirion in Anfalas. Okay. I didn't get any fat loot from that? Really? That's all we want in life is fat loot. Question to Awakening Ridley Scott after a test screening. What about the unicorn? Well, it depends. If you've watched the very first director's cut, here I think, the very first director's cut the unicorn has a very, very large part in the director's cut. Because Deckard dreams about a unicorn. And then at the end, Gaff, played by Edward James Olmos, has left the origami unicorn. That's because Gaff has read Deckard's file, and Deckard is a replicant, and the file talks about him dreaming about a unicorn, and he leaves the unicorn, and that's why Deckard picks it up and nods kind of grimly. Okay, I am a replicant. And out the door. And that's how it ended. He and Rachel going out the door, him knowing he's a replicant and assuming they're both going to be followed. That's not the ending we have in the original release of the movie. The first director's cut still has one continuity error in it of significant nature, but overall I think is vastly superior. Alright, and we are off where now? Where are we off to now? Lonkirion, was it? West of Lonkirion, okay. So, we want to catch a ride back to Lonkirion.
Have you come to help?
If I can read. Yeah, I can. Lonkirion. Here we go. 144 silver. Now, it is also said that the unicorn from the dream sequence was from Ridley Scott's previous movie, or prior movie, I'm not sure it was exactly the one before, Legend, with Tom Cruise, in which a unicorn played a big part. All right, we are in Lonkirion, and we have to go over there. There are also two versions of Legend. At least two released versions of Legend. One has the original soundtrack. I can't remember who did it. And the second one has a soundtrack by Tangerine Dream. And there are different scenes in one movie and the other. Oh, the original trilogy is done much better than the Hobbit movies. The Hobbit movies are a spit in the face of every Tolkien fan. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Which of the movies was done better? The Hobbit movies or the Lord of the Rings movies? And the Lord of the Rings movies by far. Everything I said about Peter Jackson, him doing a respectful presentation of a book that he loved, that was true about the Lord of the Rings trilogy, is patently not true about what he did with the Hobbit movies, which were god-awful. Not just as Tolkien representations, but god-awful as movies as well. Yeah. It really was a shame. I found a spot from which I might see distant ships. I will look. The hazy sky over the water hides from my sight any retreating ships. Find a spot further to the west. Not very far to the west. Is that an Avank? Yep, that's an Avank. Can't sit through the hub. Wow. Okay, don't step in the water, because that was a 1,000 point a second dot the water is doing. Don't mess with the water, guys. That's the lesson. Good. Look for distant ships. I'm looking for distant ships. Can't quite make out what the distant shapes on the water might be. Further west? Further west. Arasdil. About like the first half of the first Hobbit movie has got some really good things in it. But after that, it went down, and the second was awful, and the third was appalling.
Fleeing Corsair ships? No, I've not seen anything of that sort today.
Today? How about yesterday? Wow, that's a long ride. Yep, we continue to work our way up to the top, and then we'll head west. Well, we'll try. There we go. Victory is mine. Or maybe not. Looks like I may have to actually go down to the beach and follow the beach. They find the weapons in the cave, but they lost it the way they did the barrel. The barrels was the worst. That was when I gave up on it ever being any good at all. At some point, and you can actually see it in the Fellowship movie. At some point, Peter Jackson fell in love with Peter Jackson, the action director. And that he thought he was a good action director. And he's not. Am I going to die here? Because the water here does like 1,000 damage a second. And so that's the example I would use as the obvious worst of his action sequences. It's appallingly bad. It's terribly executed. Looks like I can heal through it. It's terribly executed and just awful. There's a scene in The Fellowship where he wastes several minutes on an incredibly dumb scene. The scene on the stairs where we eventually see Gimli get tossed, where Aragorn and Frodo are left on the little pillar that tilts and they jump off. That whole thing was several minutes of completely unnecessary, uninteresting stuff that isn't in the books. There are so many parts of the Fellowship that could have been, padded with a little more content. And instead he chose this terrible action sequence. What happened? I thought you loved the books and all. Well, the Hobbit ones, that was a studio. There was studio involvement in The Hobbit. And he ended up deciding to do it. He says, there seems to be no immediate sign of Corsairs in the Grove. Examine the high-quality bow on the stone block. There it is. That the studios were going to make it with him or without him, and he decided he would rather it was done by him. I think he would have been happier, and we would have been happier. It would have been easier to dismiss if it had been done by somebody else. The bow is of unusually high quality and is in fine repair. Talk to the Ent in the Shady Grove. We have an Ent, ladies and gentlemen. Leafshade, how you doing?
You there, small one.
Hey, I'm short, but I'm not small. You get what I mean? It's a penis reference. Charming parrot coin. This will be, I think, an improvement. More of it. Crit, finesse, some fate.
There have been many strange happenings.
I'm sure there have.
Of late.
Talk to Leafshade at Tumbernale.
That is the bow.
And learn what I can from the ant. I'm learning what I can from the ant. Oh, we've got another instanced. Nestin.
He left it here when he...
Nestin Anasorne.
Away.
Where am I? What happened to me? I remember the marching ranks of the orcs. Defenders of Helm's Deep. How did I come to be here? I think you are going to live after all, whom. You were pierced by an arrow when I found you. I would expect at some point they'll make the trilogy again, although I doubt it'll be for quite a while. I have to warn my friends, this poison. Listen to the conversation between Leafshade and Nestin Anasorne. That's quite the name he has there. You're fortunate you have awoken. I had decided to drop you in the sea if you did not survive the poison. Is there a movie that could be based around Aragorn after the third? It's funny. Tolkien himself considered doing a sequel to The Lord of the Rings. But he thought it was kind of depressing because the way he was going, it was about sort of the rise of darkness in Gondor. Basically how after the king, you know, it wasn't a time of happiness and glory and everything being happy, but things started going back downhill again. He just thought it was depressing and chose not to do anything else with it. You have to let me go, Leafshed. My friends need me. Horn. Hona, Glabo, Gleowine. You cannot help them as you are now, my friend. Whom. I mean, they could make a Silmarillion movie, or better yet, television series. They've shown with the Amazon series that you can make an incredible looking television series based in Middle-earth. Sadly, I was expecting The Rings of Power to be a bad Tolkien adaptation. I didn't expect it would be a bad television show, but it was both. Listen to the conversation. Are you guys done talking? Nope, you're still talking. Something has changed. The air tastes differently. More badness, more bad guys. I think a great and distant evil has been defeated. Maybe this is not Sauron. Your name for things are so small. Nestin and Nesorne. But you may be right. So I guess this is flashback between the two of them. The natural world sings anew. Yeah, I'm guessing Sauron. When he got aired out. My friends, my heart tells me this victory is yours. Pretty much. But did you survive it? I did. I'm right here. I'm right here. In your memory.
But Nestina Nesorna was still weak on the day strangers came.
Wow.
To my home.
Do you have to have the ant speak his lines? This whole thing is so slow to begin with. Oh. Yep, Corsair. Let's see. We have Nikasi, Tathata, and a bunch of Corsair dickhands. Sorry, deckhands. My bad. Nikasi. Observe the confrontation between Nikasi and Leafshade. If you do this, Nikasi, you do it alone. I want no part of it. That is the guy named the Beast. I have men enough to burn everything here. You really want to piss off the frickin' ant lady? And I do not need your crew for this, Tafata. But I will not forget you withheld your assistance. I beg you to spare this grove and its keeper. Can we not come to an arrangement? He left with them and sailed away on one of their ships. I did not want to fight, and I am glad that I did not have to, but I hope my friend is safe. He was not yet fully recovered. He stares at me with half-lidded eyes, like he's about to fall asleep again. And scene. Leaf Shade.
Yesterday.
Saw his ship's return. Talk to King Elisar inside the main hall, inside the keep of Lond Kirion.
Ship's return.
That's cool. Thanks, dude. Lond Kirion. I'm here. I'm going to use my travel. Estelad Lan. No, wrong one. Lynn here. I should be able to fast travel from there. Estelad Lan is just outside Mordor. And we need to go to Lond Kirion.
What can I do for you?
No Lond Kirion. No Lond Kirion. Alright. What's the closest to Lond Kirion then? Alright, we're in there. Dol Amroth, maybe?
What can I do for you?
Viggo, you loved him as Aragorn? Yeah, he was a terrific Aragorn. He was not the original actor who was cast, though. You know, certain roles feel like they're made for some people. Or vice versa, the person who's made for the role. Yeah, he was terrific. Originally cast, and I think they filmed for a couple of days before replacing him, is an actor named Stuart Townsend, who's a good actor. But personally, I felt was too pretty to play Aragorn. That may sound weird, but he's an extremely handsome guy. And you just didn't feel that, you know, Aragorn is described as being rough from, you know, those years in the wilderness.
I never thought to see such happy
Yeah, he has a
days as
grittiness,
these.
certainly in that role. Where are we going again? Lond Kirion. Evidently not going there direct. Oh, there we are. Lond Kirion. I will also note, if you enjoy Viggo Mortensen, he played Lucifer in a movie. A small role in a movie that also has Christopher Walken playing the angel Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel, called The Prophecy. The movie's okay, but anytime they're in it, Viggo as Lucifer or Christopher Walken as the Archangel Gabriel, fucking 10 out of 10. Trying to remember how to get where I need to go again. Is it over here and then up, I think? They carried the movie. The rest of it was okay. But when they're on the screen, individually or at the end of the movie, together. Allow me to quote one of the lines that Viggo Mortensen has in the movie. He's speaking to a human. I can lay you out and fill your mouth with your mother's feces. Or we can talk.
We have only just arrived at Lond Kirion. Did you learn where the ships are bound? You will need a ship to carry you and the crew you choose to bring to
A new
Umbar.
cloak. Let's see how these 3 new cloaks look. That is a not especially interesting cloak. That one's okay. That one's nice. Like that one. Is that the one with my stats? That's the one with my stats. Very nice. Yes, it does escalate quickly, but, you know, Lucifer. I will accept. Find Orgalas in his bedroom upstairs in the keep. Keep. No, that's not it. Lond Kirion. Upstairs? Lond Kirion? Nope. Don't have permission to use that. Upstairs. That just leads through into there. Is this not the keep? That's the keep of Lond Kirion. Find Orgalas in his bedroom upstairs in the keep of Lond Kirion. Alright. I'll try to find it. It's not over there. Nope, not there. Why can I not find the stairs? Am I blind? Could have sworn I went this way. Evidently I did not. My brain is going, guys. I can feel it. I do not have permission to go that way. Nope, no permission. My mind is going, Dave. I can feel it.
Someone needs
I
to
gather your
rescue
thoughts
Thorongil,
concerning Galazgil.
and I suppose it falls to me.
I'm gathering my thoughts. Hold still. Memory of Galazgil. I tell him about Galazgil. During the Battle of the Black Gates. I told him all about Galazgil. And he's thinking.
My father's lost
thoughts were not for himself,
or for what he was about to lose.
but for the folk of Anfalas. Look at you with a resolve in his eyes. Talk to King Elisar outside of the keep of Lond Kirion. Well, down back here, so this way. Don't suppose they'll let me jump. They do! Worth. Totally worth. Alright, Elisar, what do you got for me? The stitched silk cloak.
I am pleased with the decision of Orgalas.
Let's see. Almost triple the armor, double the will, thirple the vit, almost fourple the crit, and almost 6-pull the tactical mitigation. That's an improvement.
I suggest you add to the Wave Hunter's complement of sailors such folk as you can trust.
And we'll put on our new cloak. We'll deconstruct the old one for motes of enchantment.
If you do encounter any members of this kindred, do not stay the killing stroke.
Aorith?
Dearie me. Do take care
Dearie
of
her! Queen Arwen?
Good fortune go with you.
That would be
May you
nice.
rescue the young heir of
Lineal?
Galeen from his captivity. Eorith says you plan to sail to Umbar.
Glindor?
Lenial and I will watch out for the king on his return to Minas Tirith.
That's nice.
You take care of yourself.
I understand you are leaving us. Good luck to you and to young Thorongil.
Talk to Elisar. Pardon me skipping through all that stuff, but if I were playing solo, I would read through it. But I'm not playing solo.
You sail into dangerous
I'm
waters,
playing
my
with you.
friend. And
Return
in
to the
Umbar,
library of Lord
you will be
Kirion
beyond
inside the
my
keep.
help.
Really? Is that necessary? Of Lond Kirion. Lord Kirion. No. Lond Kirion. This looks like a library. It's not a library. It looks like a library. It's got a shitload of books. This is the library. K-Bar.
This is really happening? When the king
That's
asked
another
me to accompany
bracelet.
you to Umbar,
It
I thought
is
he was joking.
98 item levels higher than mine. 4 times the VIT. And some nice physical and tactical resists and mitts.
I will be fine in a moment. Let me just breathe for a
It
bit.
has removed the correct one. Very nice. And once again, we will turn it into 200 motes of enchantment. Complete recruit and complete the crew. Knight of Green Hills, the Boon Companions, the Sea-Longing Lord, She Who Remained, the Corsair Jajax, or recruit any other members I decide. I have no idea how I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to step outside and see if we have any pointers. To the ship. I particularly like how I went wah to the ship. Wah to the ship? I don't think there's any other way out other than down and to the side. I don't think this is going to get me there. Oh, maybe. Maybe. The good old days when the cities got their own maps. Mistress of Apprentices. Lond Kirion. Kirion, my wayward son. Sorry. Sort of. Not really. Where was the elevator down? Right over here. Or the steps. Steps would work too. Far-ranging harbors.
You are here to help?
Umbar Baharbel. Halrak Swift Travel. Dol Amroth and Pelargir. Well, I've got a ring over there. Gimli.
I know why you are here, my friend. And of course I will agree to sail with you into danger.
The Boon Companions. Talk to Elestrin and Melgabas. Oh my god, this is going to take for frickin' ever, isn't it? Where the hell is Melgabas? I can't keep all these all the way over there. So on that note, I'm going to end it for the evening before I, get so tired of this never actually allowing me to get to Umbar that I take a nice hot bath and open my veins. Note, that was a joke, Twitch. I will not actually take part in any self-mutilation, abuse. Well, self-abuse, maybe. I will not self-harm. It was a joke. Thank you. My intent is to be back at this tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, early morning in Asia and Australia, with more of this here Lord of the Rings online content. And maybe, who knows, I can finally freaking get to the location that the expansion is named after. Because the amount of riding around in the King's Gondor has been really way too much. So much fucking riding over the last 4 days. Out of something like 10 hours of gameplay, 9 of it has probably been spent riding around. Seriously. Not joking. And I am quite sick of it. But I'll be back tomorrow. My expectation is that Tuesday will be the last, at least for a while, of Lord of the Rings content. On Wednesday, V Rising has its official launch, and I'll be playing. It has been in early access up till now, but Wednesday is the official launch. I don't think we have a time yet for that. The servers are currently off, and they'll be bringing them back up on Wednesday for the launch 1.0 of V Rising. So, tomorrow, more Lord of the Rings Online. Wednesday, V Rising. After that, don't know. Not completely true. Next week, I think on the 16th, we get the redo of Mists of Pandaria in WoW. I can't remember what they're calling it. Pandaria redone, reboot, redo, re-something. And it seems like it'll be fun. And so my intent is to play that, and they'll get another $15 out of me for a sub for a month. I doubt I'll play it for a month, but hopefully I'll find it fun. So that's my intent for the upcoming week plus. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully you will see me soon. Again, guys, I want to thank you all for hanging out with me. I always appreciate it. Also, a very nice, lively chat. And I think when my chat is lively, I think I'm a better streamer and my streams are better. So thank you guys for doing that for me. Back tomorrow. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Have a great Monday night. And again, I like to give you guys an achievable goal. So I hope the rest of your week doesn't suck. Back tomorrow. Have a great night tonight. Take care and ciao for now. Good night, guys.